I like radio. I love radio. It's so much fun.
Oh, that's my love as well. Myriam, there's one thing that I heard when you were talking right now, and it's about you making $9 an hour, which is one of the one of the difficult things that we need to ingrain in the minds of these people here, because it's not going to be an easy start. And you just said it, $9 an hour can discourage anybody. I remember when my time came and my first paycheck came as a broadcaster. I worked, I don't know how many hours a day, and I thought this is going to be a big fat check. And when I got it, it didn't even make minimum wage. So I just sat in the studio and said, am I really going to do this? Because this is not going to pay the bills. So what was your drive to maintain yourself in the industry while just making $9 an hour?
I really enjoyed my work. And I think that that's basically what keeps you in this industry when you're young. You really have to love it. I also found a great mentor, Charlotte Burke back then, who was the girl who convinced the news director. She later became the news director, to hire me, saying she's a 2-for-1 special. I got a great mentor who basically helped me fall in love with this industry, make it the best. And I stuck it out because I really enjoyed doing it, and it came natural. It's something I was good at, and I was getting paid not great, but I knew that working hard and sticking to it, I'd be able to progress in this career. So that's what kept me, the love of this career. If you really like it, if this is your thing, they say you don't work a day, if you do what you love, and that's
Exactly.
that's what you have to find.
To you, Myriam, what has been the biggest industry change that you've experienced from your start to where you are right now? Because I think that the ones that have been, for a while in this industry have experienced, myself, I've gone from analog radio to digital and then to the internet age. So
Yeah.
we've seen a lot of things going on. What has been your biggest change in this in all these years?
I think, we went from, the big tapes, the little tapes to the like SD cards, but that wasn't the biggest change for me. The biggest change was web and streaming. When I was younger, I'm still young. When I was younger, I learned to say that. I remember the newspaper folks and the radio folks started doing stories for the web first. They would actually do on-camera stories or recorded stories for their websites before TV did. We just posted whatever we did on TV onto the web, which was not the same as working for the web. So, fast forward to today, we actually do special content for our web. We treat it as another platform. And the same thing with streaming services that you're seeing now. We actually work, I like my documentary. I did a documentary. I'm doing a series of documentaries on plant-based eating and, the soil and our food and the environment. And those are done for our streaming services. And then I grab snippets of that and I put it on TV. So we're working differently. We're working towards streaming as the future. So definitely those changes. Working for the web and for streaming, because the tapes, yes, we started with tapes like that, then they got smaller, then they got a card. But that's going to change. That's like, when they change the discs, it's the same thing. But I feel like the web has made us different. The social media, we work towards, we put content on social media, and we used to do it to promote the TV only. And now we do it to get feedback from the community. So I think those things have definitely changed our industry for the better. They make you sharper if you can keep up. You got to keep up.
There's another thing that I noticed there, and you said a word that I really love, and that is, two words actually, content creation. And that is one of the things that I strongly talk about every time in my classes, encouraging everybody here. Content creation is king, because basically it's the thing that people are going to consume every time that they watch us, every time that they listen to us. Any pointers on content creation? Where should these guys go to in terms of sources, in terms of what recommendations would you give them, so they can become not just the guy that's going to be, doing pranks on a camera, on a YouTube channel, but someone that's delivering some content that can be, consumed by a lot of people, and content that can be important as something that will leave something behind.
I always tell everyone that they have to be part of the community if you want to do stories that matter to the community. So I know she talked at the beginning, Linda, a little bit about, my volunteer work and that kind of stuff. I'm part of the community. Nobody's going to come and tell me what this community is about because I'm out there. And I listen to people. So whether it's being part of a nonprofits or volunteering or go to community events, get out there because people will tell you what's going on. I mean, on social's opened up a whole new world where people, just like in radio, they used to call us and tell us, hey, this or that. In social, you have an immediate response. But that is a little skewed. Social has that tendency to be a little skewed where you believe that's, bigger than it is or smaller than it is. But if you are out in your community, I have more stories than I could ever enterprise. And the reason I believe the stories that I've done have been so impactful is because I listen to people. I find patterns. If, we have a phone center that gets all my calls. We get hundreds of calls a week. So we have to have somebody who actually gets all those calls. And they know if we get 10 calls on something, they need to contact me immediately because that means that's something important to our community. So finding trends like that, you only find it when you know your community, when you're out, when you go, tomar un cafecito, drink a coffee out there, or when you're part of it. You can't produce or enterprise from a newsroom. You're never going to know a community inside a newsroom. You're just going to hear the crime. You're not going to know what the heartbeat of the community is. So that's my biggest tip to people. Get out there, get to know people, talk to people. If you're in the consumer beat, I've trained all of our, a lot of our Responde folks. Responde is our brand for responding to customers or to clients and to viewers. I tell them, listen, as soon as you hit the market, contact your consumer agencies, go out there and say, hey, what's going on? Are you getting hundreds of calls on car dealerships or whatever? Because they're the ones who have their ear to the ground and they're the ones who are getting complaints from people. So that that's the biggest issue. So get in contact with those agencies, talk to nonprofit organizations. Housing is a big deal. Find a housing organization. So those are the biggest tips I can give you. Don't produce from your computer. Get out there, find out what's going on for real, talk to people.